good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, depending on the time frame you are watching yet another episode of The Revolving Perspective. We have talked about many perspectives in life. We are also trying to understand every single episode of Revolving Perspective as to how perspectives can really change our intentions, our way of looking at things together. Now let's talk about something else today. Let's talk about a task being done, be it from a human or be it from a machine. For a doer, it is important. Obviously, that's the reason he is doing it. For watcher bias, couple of people think that it is important. Couple of people think that we are running too fast on the things and all that. But every perspective have got its own place. We all try and understand those things. We all try and look at from our own angles. The biggest trouble that we all have, we feel our perspective is the right one. Correct? We don't ever look at what the other perspective is all about. The main theme behind the revolving perspective here is to look at where people are coming from, what journey they have traveled, what different perspective are they bringing on the screen here for us to learn from, for us to emulate, for us to really look at it from their angle, and see as to we are not reinventing the wheel again in life. Now, one such topic which I'm not an expert of is artificial intelligence, or Internet of Things, or you name it, something of that domain. Okay. Now, I'm not that expert of that domain, so I'll not be able to talk a lot about it. But then, is it something that is avoidable, or is it really coming into our lives the way technology have come into our lives for last 1.5 years in this pandemic? We were always running away from it. We were always running away from virtual world, meeting people virtually. But this one pandemic have really put us into a spot wherein it is simply unavoidable for us. Is it something that same thing is happening with AI or IoT? Or is it that, there will be one such phase again in life wherein this thing will simply barge on into our lives? And we are there to, just embrace it. We don't have choice there. Now, the gentleman that I'm going to introduce to you today is doing something in this domain. As I told you, I'm not an expert into this, so he will speak out for his own. But I can tell you one thing, a very dear friend of mine. I'm knowing him for last almost 24 odd years, and a gem of a person. Be it into a corporate profile or an entrepreneurship journey, you will not find a better person than him. And the most important here is the topmost part of his body is something fantastic. Okay, so he possesses something which actually makes him different from the world altogether. Let's listen it out from him. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm presenting to you Mr. Jayesh Jain out here. Jayesh, welcome to the Revolving Perspective, and it's so nice to have you here with us here.
Thank you, Gunjan, for such a lovely introduction and backdrop. I really don't deserve that, but yeah, thank you.
That you should leave it to me, whether you deserve it or not. Correct? Okay, fantastic, Jayesh. Now, for our audiences, first of all, to understand what Jayesh Jain as individual is, so can you take us through your journey, a professional journey, in short? I'm not taking more time, but still, for people to actually relate back to you.
Sure. Yeah, so I began my journey. I just will connect to what Gunjan mentioned, 24 years. And that comes from our, engineering times. We had great time together, 4 years in Rajasthan when we did our engineering from MBM Engineering College. And from well-wishes and the things which I learned, in fact, from Gunjan himself at that time, prompted me to continue my education and ended up into Indian Institute of Science way back in 2003. Got the flavor of research and just fell in love. Spent my first 5 years actually doing research, hardcore research into the field of mechanical engineering at General Electric. Learn really what you can do from science. How can you solve some of the toughest problems using science? And then I started feeling really the tough problems are really good to solve, and I felt really fulfilling. However, my sweet spot was to see something more closure. Things which you're solving are going to see the impact to the world maybe after 5 years, 10 years. But what if I can do something which brings me closer to the impact?
Okay.
That's what I moved. So I started feeling how can I solve some problems which are more closer to my heart and gives me an impact in near term. And that's where I moved to GE's engineering business called Transportation, now known as WebTech. Had great journey there, professional career, learned a lot from the leaders out there. And along with that, one aspect I would like to highlight is the volunteering aspect. We had an ample opportunity to really help the society around us, and that gives me really an opportunity to open myself and learn much, much more than just being into the professional world. And that's where I felt I am probably good with people, able to understand them, rather quickly, and why not start a journey of, something where I'm being more closer to the people. And that's where I ended up into a company called Lennox International, had a couple of years there, building one of the smartest mind in the world, and had great success. And while solving this product, one of the gap I felt I'm realizing is these all products are really targeted towards improving our life through either efficiency or through experience. What really happens once you deliver this product out to the world? And that's where my entrepreneurial journey began.
Okay, that's great. So, okay, I understood your professional journey till now. So, last 2 years you are into entrepreneurship journey, correct?
About 3 years now.
About 3 years now. So, out of this 3 years, almost 1.5 years, this pandemic have been around with us, correct? So, actually, this pandemic have caught you into the cradles. You have never been able to put your foot down on the ground before this pandemic actually started. So, how have this journey been? The first phase, of first 1.5 years, and then the later 1.5 years. So, how do you rate this?
I mean, I probably don't have the best word to describe, but it has been one of the journey, the learnings which we have had in last 2 years, probably put together of professional careers equivalent. And thanks to the COVID, thanks to being entrepreneur.
Okay, so one lovely thing out here, isn't it? Entrepreneurship journey actually gives you a lot more opportunities to learn, and very quickly, correct? So if I may put you to a spot again and ask you a question, what is the best learning that you feel you can rate among all of these things in the last 2 years or 2.5, 3 years, whatever, since you are on your own now? So what is the biggest thing that you have learned with this?
If you ask, I mean, there are so many things which you have learned, and if I pick one, being humble, that's something is what entrepreneur teaches you.
Okay.
How can, because you are starting from zero, you are no one for the client who you are serving.
Okay.
Doesn't matter from where you come, what degrees, what professional career you have. For them, what value you are bringing. And that's what entrepreneurship teaches you.
So humbleness as a value, correct?
Yes.
Okay, tell me one thing, Jayesh. What actually attracted me towards inviting you to this platform? Okay, and this was something which you are trying to do and which you have done already, and is going to impact the world in a better fashion. Was about to do something to do with I'm not an expert, so I'll not be able to describe it, but I would really like to understand from you as to about that product which you have now come up with, which have to do with hotels and restaurants and looking at their hygiene. And actually, that's a fascination for me. Machines doing what humans could have done or could not have done, or we thought of doing it, but we couldn't do it. Right. So how is that actually?
Sure. Thanks for asking this, Gunjan. So what really we are doing here is, so as I said, when I came out from professional careers, it was all about developing ultra efficient machines. Now, that's one part of, the market or the growth of, our community, if you see. But other aspect is, what are you doing with these machines once they are in the field? So if I put an analogy in a simpler word, human to human, the most difficult aspect of any organization is to get teamwork together. As individuals, we are really brilliant. Most of us have our own unique skills, but are we doing a brilliant job together? And not many succeed in that. And same with the machines. So when you have different types of machines operating in one environment, if I take example of your home, refrigerator or TV or air conditioning, all running together, they are all needing one, which is electricity. How can you harmonize between them to reduce your consumption using the power of IoT and AI? That's what we are doing for businesses.
So just take us through this product actually. So I understood that you are trying to harmonize various products into a particular ecosystem and trying to put them into one single destination for them to reach or an output for them to deliver. But then what is this specific thing about? Because see, a lot of our audiences would be belonging to that industry which you are trying to cater to. So for them to understand more about you, obviously one thing is they can reach out to you. But even within the interview part, let them at least get a feel of it now, what you have done.
Sure. So we basically have developed a couple of devices, IoT devices. We call it IoT stands for Internet of Things, but essentially what it means, it will connect to your existing machine and take out the important parameters from that machine and make that available on cloud.
Okay.
When the data goes to cloud, the power of cloud and the AI comes in. Now this data can be leveraged.
Correct.
In the form of web, mobile app, machine learning models. So that's what we do. That's one aspect of our solution. The machines could be here, utility machines, your air conditioners, centralized air conditionings, boilers, heat pumps, chillers, pumps, all that we integrate and give you a platform.
Okay, tell me one more thing, Jayesh. When I was interacting with you just before the interview, and actually what fascinated me was when you were trying to talk about the hygiene factor of restaurants. Yes. So let's come to straight away to that place where you were taking me from, and try and understand, boss. You went to IISc, correct, and I have not gone there. So let's see that there is a difference in understanding levels. So I don't understand your technical languages. Okay, come down to my level and explain me what this is all about in the same language that you were trying to explain me earlier, so that our audiences can relate it properly with you, especially for a restaurant site, okay, wherein this sort of a system is implemented and what it does for the people.
Right. So this is the part which is just explained is where we began. And as COVID hit, you will see your buildings, hotels are down. Correct. Because of lockdown. And when we were talking to customer, one of the big problem they are facing now is how to bring back confidence of people that they can come to the building, hotel, and their rooms are safe, their restaurants are safe. How do you ensure that?
Yeah, if you ask me, I don't go to hotels right now because of only this issue here. I don't really know whether they are safe or not.
So our solution will make you come to
okay, fantastic.
Back. And the way we do it, again, we use the power of IoT and AI here. We have worked with the scientists in IIT Madras and have designed, few devices which helps you monitor the safety of your premises.
Okay.
Safety in terms of all of us probably understand pollution.
Correct.
Around us.
Correct.
But you'll be surprised that this pollution, 1 point increase in particulate matter can increase 15% COVID spread rate.
My goodness.
This is published in Nature.
That's great.
So what if I monitor these parameters, particulate matters, humidity, temperatures, volatile organic compound, and allows hotels, restaurants to publish this data to their patrons.
Okay.
So that way they upfront know this is my hotel and here is what it is. In fact, it is better than where probably I'm living. Why I'm worried about conducting a business and really help revive this COVID comeback for the economy. So this is one solution. Likewise, we have another solution for hand wash. So using the power of computer vision, this is in done collaboration with Datacul. You can monitor your hand hygiene. You'll be surprised that 6% of us only wash hands properly.
My goodness. Come on, don't tell me that. Last 1.5 years, at least we have learned how to wash hands only.
Hopefully now you're probably not in that 6%, but it is not just for normal people, even doctors and nurses. The compliance is only 50%.
My goodness.
This is something was astonishing for me when we learned. So we have a solution which helps you learn how to wash in a protocol using machine learning. And it's really, really funny. And my son has learned, we all have learned from that, and now we do that just naturally because human learns by seeing.
Correct.
That's what we have developed.
Fantastic. So Jayesh, if I may put it to this way, all my audiences who are looking at this particular interview and who belong to this industry, especially hotels and restaurants and all of them, this is something as a tool that you are providing them, which can build in confidence back into their customers, saying that, boss, come, we are safe and it is certified by science now. We are maintaining all sort of hygienes and all sort of care that you need as a customer to enter our premises and still be safe. Okay, so it happens, like in India, what happens is we were out of a lockdown, everything opened up, and then we again came back into lockdown. Okay, and various countries of the world are going through like this. Okay, even it happened in Europe as well. It is happening in the Southeast Asia now, wherein the lockdown tier 3 is now continuing and all that. So I think this is a perfect thing for a hotel or a restaurant chain to say to people out there, boss, see, this is what science is saying about our premises. This is how we have certified it, and now you are safe out here if you visit us, correct? And this will put them a rather 10 steps ahead of their competitors also, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic. So I think a lot of our audiences who are looking at it, they would love to reach out to you and then interact with you about your products and services, but that's something that we will leave out to our audiences. Let's continue this part, okay? Now, Jayesh, I was actually curious to understand this. An entrepreneur, apart from the domain that he operates, like in your case, it is a purely technical domain that you guys are operating with. Apart from that, there are many other things that an entrepreneur can have to actually look at, and it starts from obviously the equity, and then it comes to the social capital, it comes to the networks, it comes to reaching out to the prospective customers, it also comes to dealing with various stakeholders and all those things, correct?
Absolutely.
And you would have experienced it by now for last 3 years, and you would have experienced it in a nice fashion, because a good amount of those 3 years this pandemic have taken over, correct? So if I may ask you, okay, first question, before I really go to there, I have a different question popping up in my mind. Now since we both studied together, so I can always assume that our ages are almost the same, correct? So a mid 30s to mid 40s, the most volatile phase of life, when the children are not settled and we are planning for their futures and we are planning for our retirements and all that. So what actually made you to switch from a assured income to a most risky roller coaster ride like entrepreneurship, number one? And number two, what was that fire in you which you were trying to doze off with this step of yours? So if you can just throw some light on this.
Yes, so that's again a really good question. It takes me back. This question I answered several times when I was taking that decision. And if I put down into the single most reason why I did that was to really test my boundaries.
Okay.
So this happened to be coming from my seniors, mentors when I was going through, and the kind of success I had had at a professional career. Was this all I meant for? Or I can do something much larger where I impact millions of people? That was the single most thing which decided me to, let's take this journey.
Okay.
And really got to test my boundaries, certainly.
Okay, fantastic. So if I know you well, and since I know you well, so you have been testing your boundaries since way back, okay, way back in 2000s, 99s and 2000s and all, because you were an inspiration for all of us out there in that particular domain, okay? And I'm pretty sure people around you would be looking at you from that particular aspect as well. Tell us, if I may ask you today, for last 3 years of your journey, if I may ask you that, given that power of changing one thing back in the time within these 3 years, is there something you would love to change, or is it that you are satisfied with your journey till now? Or you feel that whatever happened is okay, fantastic, that's how it should be?
Yeah, so journey has been fantastic. No regrets. Really fulfilling professional and personal career has been. The one thing probably, if you ask me to change, would be knowing that how important it is to have network.
Okay.
And how do you build a relationship? That's something I learned over a period of time. But probably.
Fantastic. So actually, you have come to one of my favorite domains. Okay, so till now I was actually playing into your field, and now you gave me a leeway to actually come into my field to play around with me.
Sure.
Okay, so let's talk about something here, because I can't be a second fiddle to you every time, correct? So
Please.
This time I'm at least batching you up here. Networking for an entrepreneur, very important topic, correct? Especially in the last 1.5 years, people have really realized, maybe you would have realized long back, but then people have actually realized the importance of a network now. People have realized that, a network is not only for business or talking about business, it is also for an ecosystem around us to get developed, which actually supports us emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, everywhere. Okay.
Yep.
If I may ask you now this particular question, what role have network played for you till now into your entrepreneurship journey? I'm not talking about your business journey, about your corporate journey till now, but and what is that you're looking for the network to play a role for you going forward? So if you can just put it across.
Yeah, so I think the network really helps you. Several ways it helps. If you have people around you who can give you candid feedback, that's one aspect of it. people around you who can, adapt your solution, your product, and really, praise or really abscond it. These are priceless thing for an entrepreneur. You
Correct.
can't be waiting for people to come to you and assuming this is my, horizon or my customer base. This is
Fantastic.
infinite. You can't even imagine who all may need your solutions.
Correct.
And that all comes with the power of network.
One more question, Jayesh, before I really switch over to the next part of this interview, and which actually is a fun part of it for me. Actually, may not be for you, but before that, I want to ask you this question. Okay, now I have been a firm believer of the power of network, and I have always been telling people about it during my entrepreneurship journey, obviously. And one good thing that I always tell them is, कि boss, किसी की शादी का मतलब when there is a marriage ceremony, we all go there, correct?
Yes.
When Elon Musk launches a new Tesla model, we are all there to look at it and praise it. When new Apple iPhone comes, we are there in the lines to buy it. When a new Samsung Galaxy phone is being launched, we are all there lining up for buying it. But when our friend launches a product, we feel, yeah, let him be successful, then we'll try and see. Correct. Despite product being a 100 rupee product or a 1,000 rupee product or a 10,000 rupee product, it doesn't matter. Or a neighbor launching a product and we feel, yeah, he will not be able to do it. No, that's the mentality, and believe me, the way I'm talking to people across the globe, it's same everywhere.
Okay.
Now, is it that something we all will have to do to change this? Is it that we will have to really appreciate the person next door to us to really take that plunge into the life and then do it? What's your take on this?
No, I think it's a collective society thing wherein we give more weightage to unknown, and that's something when I learned from networking also, that you start with people who are really unknown to you because of this reason. But it's high time we support our community, friends around us. They are trying to do something really new, and I really advocate we should support them, and that's where the change begins, from yourself. And
Actually, so the charity begins at home, correct? So we will have to start our own before we even look at somebody else outside doing it for us. Okay.
It just doesn't take much time. Being conscious about it, that is somebody is trying to do, and just have a phone call. What is that I can?
At times, it doesn't even need for us to buy their products. So even a phone call, a word of appreciation for him does wonders here.
Wonders, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Jayesh, coming to the rapid fire, and this is something which I love. Okay, and you may not feel comfortable, so you are free to tell me that a question is not okay with you, and I'll jump on to the next one. Okay,
Sure.
But I'm expecting a couple of words or maximum sentence answer from you. Okay, a message from Jayesh Jain as an entrepreneur to the people outside in the world, the entrepreneurs who are looking at this interview. One single message that Jayesh Jain want to give for them to be successful.
Take risk.
Okay, fantastic. I'm loving it here. Believe me. The next question. What are the biggest risks that Jayesh Jain have taken till now?
Entrepreneurship.
Fantastic. I think I don't have that prize to be given after the rapid fire, but then you deserve one. Okay. Anyway, the next question. If I may have to ask you, one of the biggest achievements in the last 3 years, what that would be?
Ability to save 30% plus energy at one of the premises.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And putting you on the spot again, what is the biggest failure that you feel that in the last 3 years that you have come across?
Not able to build a really solid team yet to take over the entire vision which I have.
Okay.
So that's something still journey being continued.
Fantastic. So continuing the question, the biggest learning from this failure for you?
Networking.
I love it. The biggest benefit of networking that you have experienced till now?
The motivation.
Okay, so if I have to summarize Jayesh Jain as an individual whom I have interacted for last 25, 30 odd minutes here, I should tell you two things here, okay, which I could feel, apart from me knowing you from so many years, but only for this 25, 30 minutes, if I have to summarize here, Jayesh Jain actually is a live testimonial for two things. One is a risk-taking ability. Second is assessing the risks on its own, and then coming out in the world to take the world through the horns. And the third thing is a self-motivated person. And believe me, across the world, the interviews that I'm conducting or this platform is taking the interviews to, we are somehow feeling the same perspectives coming and getting roped into the same painting actually. A couple of interviews back, we wrote a post saying that, we all are painters, the entrepreneurs, and we are trying to paint pictures which are getting unified at a later stage, and they all look the same. And believe me, while talking to you, I really brought this perspective back again, saying that a self-motivated entrepreneur is something that we must be. We must believe on what we are doing in terms of our journey. We must look at as to what delivery we want to give back to the society as entrepreneurs, because every business have to be addressing a pain of the customer. And that is exactly what you are doing, Jayesh. And it had been a fantastic discussion with you till now. I would have loved to continue it for maybe another 2-3 hours. But yeah, you will appreciate that, this is something that should give me also a chance to come back to you to ask you for one more appointment for such an interview, maybe after a couple of months or a couple of maybe after 6-7 months, wherein you would have added some laurels to your business by that time, correct? Some additional laurels. So I would love to keep a track of you. For our audiences, this is what Jayesh Jain for you, ladies and gentlemen, and he is really working on something which humans have not been able to do, or humans could not do on their own, and he is putting machines to do for us. So Jayesh, it was a fantastic discussion with you. Thanks a lot, buddy. It was nice talking to you after so many years here.
No, thanks, Gunjan, and thanks to Revolving Perspectives to have this platform going. Best wishes to you as well.
Thank you very much, Jayesh. We would love to continue interacting, and for our audiences who are watching this, immediately after this, you will see the slides where Mr. Jayesh Jain's credentials are mentioned. Reach out to him if you feel that there is something that he have to offer for you, or if you have something that you can collaborate with him, because the world is for collaboration. Competition times are over. Yeah. Thank you very much. This is what it have been, one more enriching experience of the Revolving Perspective. Thank you very much.